What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh and I am just your average Joe day trader. Well, for those of you that are subscribers of mine, you notice that I am not in my office. I am not in my truck. I'm not in my car. I am in a hotel room. Yes, in fact, I am in a Hilton Garden Inn this week doing some traveling for work and spent a majority of my day today in our new Discord group trading today and back now where I need to be for the rest of the week. And so I'm on the west coast of Florida. I live on the east coast of Florida, South Florida. So I did not want to delay and allow a night to go by without making another video. So here we are. I am working off my MacBook and my iPhone. So the quality of this video is probably not as good, but that's okay. We're still going to get it done and talk a little bit about the market and what's happening in the news and what's affecting the market. And that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining the video, for joining the channel. I would ask you guys to hit the subscribe button. I think you're really going to enjoy what we do here in the channel. We talk about the best day trade stocks. After all my research and analysis and a 30-day trend, I identify which stocks are really the best ones to get in and out of to make the best and the most money. We also launched today our Discord group, the Average Joe Day Trader Discord group. Shout outs to all the guys and gals that have joined so far. I think we're up to about 15 members, but a lot of great folks that I've been having the opportunity to talk to and meet with and do some trading with today. Thank you guys for joining the Discord and being subscribers here. I hope you really get benefit out of both. And kind of funny because if you're part of the Discord, then you're sort of going to cheat because you kind of know what's happened through the day and kind of where my mind is on a lot of different things with stocks and performance and even where I made money today myself. So anyway, let's just kind of jump into the news a little bit. Obviously, today there was some volatility in the S&P 500, but the S&P 500 closed at $620.34 today. Not a bad result, a little bit down, actually almost flat from where it closed yesterday. We did have a rundown yesterday, and today we did not, which is good news. It sort of stayed steady, but the S&P 500 had, some real ups and downs today. We're going to get into the charts. I'll show that to you a little bit, but it's running, to the point right now where it was horizontal through the post market. It's in the 24-hour trading right now. It's after 10 p.m. We had a monster candle, opened up at about 619.75 and ran all the way up to 621.57. And then it kind of came back and tested down. There's a doji candle. There's a hammer candle and just kind of ran horizontally. The S&P 500 is actually on a little bit of an uptrend right now. It is a 24-hour run, so we're able to look at that right now and see what's happening. But either way, the S&P 500 and the overall stock market was affected today by some of what the news has for us. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit. First of all, Trump's tariffs is causing some opportunity for us in the market. Now, it's not the same as Liberation Day. Obviously, the market is not in total dumping because of what's happening with the tariffs. But there's an interesting new twist to what's going on with the tariffs. The Yahoo Finance is the news source that I like to go to look at market news. And the AP reported that Trump's previous tariff push terrified the world economy, but he's betting this time it's different. And basically what it goes on to talk about is, this is the Washington AP, is that the last time Trump rolled out these tariffs, that very high, the financial markets literally dumped. It obviously caused a lot of consumer confidence and that's what caused the crash. And they say that his popularity plunged, although I don't really necessarily believe that. I don't think that it caused an issue with his popularity. I think you either love him or you hate him. I don't think that's going to change one way or the other. Maybe certain people that were on the fence said like, oh, this guy's crazy. But at the end of the day, this new round of tariffs that are being announced this week, what Trump's essentially doing is he's tethering the entire economy based on his institutional beliefs that import taxes are going to deliver factory jobs and stronger growth in the U.S. rather than cause inflation and a slowdown which is being predicted by many economists. I don't kind of don't know how I feel about all that. I feel like, the tariffs are not necessarily such a bad thing. If you think about all these countries that have imposed tariffs against us for all these years, and we've not done anything with tariffs. Um, Actually, we've paid tariffs to other countries where they have, where we've never imposed it on them. So we're spending money. It's helping those countries, and yet we were not. And so a lot of the countries that we're now imposing tariffs on, we've never paid any tariffs to. So if you think about this for a minute, right, and whether you agree with me or not is totally fine. This is my opinion. Not in any way am I trying to impose my opinion or deflect that on any of you. You all can have your own opinion. Comment below. Let me know how you feel. But I feel like, listen, a country like China that has been killing us with tariffs for a long time, we should impose a tariff and higher, right, than probably other countries that are maybe imposing low tariffs on us or none at all. The point is that we're not going to allow countries to take advantage of us anymore. And that's, in essence, I think what he's trying to do as a businessman, the art of the deal. As a businessman, he's threatening these huge, overly gross tariffs on countries so that countries would come to the table and say, hey, let's negotiate this. And that's in essence what you do. Listen, when you go to buy a vehicle, when you go buy a new car, the dealership tells you, here's the price. This truck is $75,000. Well, you're not gonna pay $75,000 sticker price for a truck. You're gonna probably look at it and say, okay, based on taking this, removing this, okay, taking this credit down, dropping the dealer, prep fee, all those things. Hey, I offer you, $48,000 for that truck. And the dealership's gonna come back and say, oh, you're crazy. That's not $48,000, $75,000, $48,000, totally crazy drop. It's going to be 65,000. Then you come back, right? And you do this game back and forth. Many of you guys and gals, if you've bought cars before, you know what I'm talking about. And ultimately you play this game back to the manager's office, back to the table, back to the manager's office, back to the table. Okay. And then you say, okay, listen, here's the deal. I'm at $56,000 out the door. Tax tag, title, 56,000. Okay. Well, that's what Trump is banking on. He's banking on these countries coming back to the table, them going back and forth and agreeing on a percentage that's appropriate for us and appropriate for them. And I can't say that's wrong. We have this huge debt, right? And I've always sort of tried to understand, why are we borrowing money from other countries? I've never understood that. And I'm sure there's many of you in here that probably will drop me comments and explain to me exactly why. But I don't think we should borrow money from China. I don't think we should borrow money from Japan, okay? We're self-sufficient. We are one of the major superpowers in the world, and we shouldn't be borrowing money. And we borrow money from other countries, and I don't get that part. But I'm not even going to try to get that part. What I want to share and what I'm basically trying to say is, I don't see anything wrong with negotiating these tariffs, but doing it the right way, being respectful, being professional, making it happen that way is crucial. And so what's happening now is Trump's basically said, he said on today, he told his cabinet that past presidents have never aggressively deployed any type of tariffs like this, and that because the past presidents didn't do it, they're stupid, quote unquote. Okay. So Trump's now basically saying that it's too time consuming to meet one-on-one and negotiate one-on-one. So they've come up with this plan where they sent letters. Yesterday at noon, they sent a bunch of countries letters saying, hey, here's the tariff we're imposing upon you. Let's negotiate it. And they're trying to do it through these letters. And it goes on. Actually, Liberation Day was on April 2nd. We all know what that did to the market on April 2nd, right? And through the few weeks after that. And now we've sort of gotten back to a point where, the markets have recovered pretty well and we're doing pretty good. But now we're imposing these tariffs again and trying to get this fluctuation going. And so here's what he's done, okay? Basically, the letters say that, you pay 25%, some will pay 35%, you might have to pay 60% or 70%. And he said basically that those words, while issuing those letters, that there's really no tariff rate higher than 40%, which he levied on Monday to Laos and Myanmar. And he plans to put 25% tariffs on Japan, South Korea, two of our very major trading partners and allies deemed crucial for curbing China's economic influence. And then leaders of the 14 countries' tariffs so far have said, hey, we hope to negotiate over the next 3 weeks before the higher rates are charged on imports. Okay, well, that's not bad. That's a good thing. So those countries are saying, hey, we want to work with you. And Trump, quote unquote, says, I would say that every case I'm treating them better than they have treated us over the years, right? That's what Trump said. I don't disagree with that. I've shared that. I think that there are several countries that have imposed 50, 60, 70, 80% tariffs on the US, and we have not. So yes, in ways we are sort of trying to handle this with kid gloves. And he also said that there's a minimum of 7 countries that on Wednesday morning, okay, so get this, guys, tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, they're going to send out additional letters to those countries, including other letters that are going to go out in the afternoon. So these letters are flying. And depending on the responses and depending on what comes back from those letters, I believe could potentially impact the market overall, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, okay, the Dow Jones. So a warning to you guys that are here as our subscribers, and even if you're first time here watching this video, just be careful, right? Tighten your belt up a little bit, hold on to yourselves and be cautious. If you're in powder on the sideline, that might not be such a bad thing to watch and understand what's going on if you're trying to get into longer term holds, longer term stocks. But I will tell you, as a day trader, and the guys in the Discord heard me say this today, you've heard me on past videos say, whether the market is going down and it's a red day or it's going up, it's a green day, every day there's an opportunity to make money. BBI was a great example of that today. There's several stocks that ran today that I made money in. And I'll share some of that with you as we kind of go through the charts. But let me continue on this with what's going on with Trump and these tariff letters. So a lot of people have some really negative thoughts on obviously what Trump's doing. They're saying that he potentially, the new deadline of August 1st, that he could retreat from that deadline, and they it's the Trump always chickens out, which they're calling the taco, method, or potentially could damage the economy, with this boomerang back and forth. There's a lot of negative news on it. And, whether you are, part of the Democratic Party, Republican Party, liberal, I don't really care. None of that matters to me. Politics doesn't matter to me in day trading, especially getting in and out of some great companies making money. But this obviously doesn't just affect any party. This affects us overall. So be careful, guys. And let's see what happens with these letters, basically, recommending these floating tariffs, and we'll see what happens. Best thing that could happen is we get a bunch of countries to want to, come back and negotiate, and we set on some sort of a floating tariff, say a 25% or whatever it is, and we'll go from there. The other thing that kind of has really continued to affect us in the news, and I've talked about the schoolyard bullies before, right? Trump and Elon Musk. Schoolyard bullies going at each other. All right. Now, what's the news is reporting that is they're saying Tesla's in trouble, not just because of Elon Musk's behavior, but in general, that Tesla is in trouble. I am a long-term stockholder for Tesla. Tesla absolutely dumped today. It was in the, high 200s, but just continued to drop, and not fun to watch. Not fun to watch. I will tell you that Palantir did beautifully today. Apple even did really good today, and so I was very happy with those. Those are part of my longer term holds, but Tesla did not. And what they're basically saying is that the board for Tesla is just totally frustrated with Elon Musk. Everyone was happy when he left Doge, when he left the White House and went back to work. The stock actually welcomed him back. The market welcomed him back. It was on a wildfire heading towards $400 per share. And then we come back to this situation where now Musk's got these political ambitions. He wants to create the quote unquote American party. And a lot of people, including his board of directors, are saying that he's just gone too far. So we're going to see kind of what happens with, with this. He has all kinds of plans. Get back to the plans, Elon. Get back to what you've been talking about with gaming and colonizing Mars and all these crazy ideas you've had. Get your rockets right, because a lot of that is super impressive. Okay. The Tesla vehicles, I don't have one. Super impressive though, right? There's a lot of really good things going on. But get back to work, man. Seriously. Get Tesla back where it's supposed to be, and honestly, just put all the political stuff behind. Stop fighting with Trump. Kiss and make up, and let's move on. So let's go to the charts, guys. Those were really kind of the main things I saw in the news today. I didn't really see anything else that was impacting the news in a very, very negative way. But anyway, first, here is the S&P 500. So you can see that, and I'm on the 15-minute. Let me go to 30 minutes on this one, just so you can kind of see this. So coming out of the holiday and after this horrible, horrible drop Monday, you can see that the market reacted with some recovery through the night. That's the 24 hours into pre-market in the morning, and then had a drop. So did most stocks with it. Ran back up and recovered. Look at this double tweezer top here. You want to talk about an engulfing candle, guys, and if you don't know, I've got a bunch of candlestick training videos here on the channel, but this is a large engulfing channel. Look at the size of that thing, and it took over. So anyway, the S&P 500 is still flat. Not a bad way to go, closing out the market, and we'll see what happens with it coming into Wednesday. Let's go to the average Joe day trade stocks. So look at this, guys. You're going to like this because even in the Discord, we were talking about it today. SoundHound, very nice result for SoundHound today. Ran up pretty hard, did drop back down, but then it kind of continued on this upward momentum with it down, and it continued even in the post-market on it up. Closed at 1271. Sitting right now at about $13.05, although the aftermarket closing when it hit 8 p.m. was at $13.17. Very nice. SoundHound doing very well. Ford, ticker symbol F, had a nice run up as well. Kind of followed the flow of the down. Closed at $11.68 today. GTX. GTX, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do with GTX. I mean, I guess you could say it sort of had a good half a day, but just not enough momentum. Like, you're not looking at this huge opening candle, 1074, all the way up to 1117. This is kind of running horizontal mostly. Serve Robotics. I love Serve Robotics. I actually prefer Serve Robotics over SoundHound, but the last several trading days, it just hasn't been performing the right way. So not anything I've been looking at. APLD, tough day today for APLD. Several guys in the Discord today agreed, just rough. It did drop down to a low of $9.20. It's sitting in it after right now at $9.25 in the 24-hour market. Closed at 8 p.m. at $9.30. We'll see what happens with APLD, guys. $9.16 or $9.17 was my next support level on this. Obviously, it doesn't show here. Some opportunity here for some more movement. We'll just see what happens. Didn't trade APLD today. Just kind of watched it. I know several of the guys in the Discord did the same. BBAI, beautiful launch. I made money in BBAI today. I actually had gotten into BBAI the day before. I bought 100 shares for a longer hold. I bought in a little bit more after that, and then it had a sort of a nice horizontal through the after hours, and then when the market opened up 4 a.m., it kind of continued on this sort of a little bit uphill, and then it launched right before market opens. Had this amazing candle. So look at this, from about $7.77 all the way to a high of $8.72. I got out at about $8.58, took profit on it. Hey, see profit, took profit, and dropped back down. And I was just waiting for another entry point. So 756, pretty decent, sitting at 767 now in the aftermarket. We'll see what it does in the morning if it drops down now More in the morning, I'm going to buy the dip on this one because it's going to continue to go up. Personally, my opinion, not financial advice. Cemex Cement Company had a nice day, had a nice run up. So pretty good result there. IAG had a hard fall and ran horizontal all day. SLDB kind of, a little bit of an up, had a launch right before the market closed. Look at this. Basically from, let's see what this is, $5.24 all the way to $5.80. Wow, nice candle. Closed at 524, sitting at 548 in the aftermarket. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning on SLDB. Wolf is the other one that I made money on today. Another one that I bought into yesterday. I actually bought 500 shares of Wolf, and I wanted to see what it was going to do because I knew it was going to get back to that $5 mark. Sure enough, it did. It went to $5.18. I sold out somewhere around $5.05. Very happy with WULF today, and a great day trade stock. Spend the rest of the day kind of on a downtrend, so I'm glad I sold out of it, but it's back down to a low that potentially I'm going to buy back into it again. Grab, which is this Korean Uber food delivery, not a very good result today. Not anything we looked at. I want to show you guys something real quick because, and I'm going to do a video on it. Somebody asked me to. WOLF, Wolfspeed. Wolfspeed, they filed bankruptcy. They had a very hard time, and they went down. I mean, like literally to the pennies, guys. They were down at one point here all the way to 38 cents, and I thought they were dead. I thought they were a done company, dead in the water. Well, sure enough, they changed their CEO, and they just announced today they changed the CFO. And when they announced that today, look at what it did, guys. I mean, literally, it went from about $2.72, ran all the way up to a high of $3.63. It did come back down, but it shows you that Wolf is back alive. And obviously, they're still working through some things, working through the bankruptcy, figuring out their financing. They got some new investors to back them. Some good things there. Potentially, this could become, again, another good day trade stock. But I'm going to trend it for a while and just kind of see how it does. And we'll see if it gets its mojo back. All right, guys, I'm not going to give you too much detail on the other ones, but I'll give you them. I'm going to put it up on the screen here so you can pause here and write these down if you want. But these are the ones that I've identified as some of the best day trade stocks. Newer, some are, high in price, a little bit less, but Oklo, OKLO, SMR, QUBT, and QBTS, both the quantums. Love these two. Not performing very well right now, but that's okay. They normally are on a nice uptrend. Pony did pretty nice today, which is Pony AI. APLD still in there. NVTS, man, did I miss out on NVTS today. This is one that my brother-in-law trades daily, and he was laughing at me. I mean, this thing went from $6.15, had a high of $6.64. Nice, guys. Think about it. At $6, $6.15, $6.20. Okay, I don't know what your accounts look like, but good opportunity to buy some shares. I know a lot of people don't like to buy a lot at one time. They say, hey, buy 100, buy another 50, buy another 50. When I know the stock's going to run like an APLD or an NVTS now like this, guys, I'm going to buy 1,000 shares. I'm going to buy 5,000 shares. I'm going to put my money in it, and that's going to be probably my one trade for the day. Get in, let it run, get out, take profit, move on. That was the day today. That's what my brother-in-law does. He typically buys anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 shares, and he'll run it up like this. And I'm sure he made a fat paycheck on this one today. Very nice result, NVTS. And we'll see what it does tomorrow. If it drops back down, I'm going to buy the dip. TMC, another one that had a little bit of a nice performance. Okay, also we have the mid-priced ones. So Ionic, IONQ, had a nice pre-market run up, and then it dumped, and then it kind of reset back. So would have had to been careful on this one. This would have been one that if I had saw this pre-market run up, but I wasn't focused on the Ionic, and it is a high price point, but you could have gotten in somewhere about here, 45. Let's see, yeah, $45.23, and it had a high of $47.88. Not bad, nice. Rocket Labs, I love Rocket Labs, guys. I've been monitoring it though because I was in it when it was very low. Hard to buy into this stock where, being at 38 bucks. But hey, low of 37.99, ran basically all the way up to 39.94. Nice day. CCL, Carnival, nothing going on there. And Intel's one that was a lot of people have been talking about Intel today, guys. I don't know the news. I need to do a little research on it, but even the other Discord that I belong in, not mine, but this other Discord I belong in, the guys were talking about, Intel and look, look at this beautiful result for Intel today. 22.15, ran all the way up to about 23.77, closed at 23.59, sitting at 23.60. It's a 24-hour trading stock. Nice. So anyway, guys, from the lap of luxury in this hotel I'm at, if you guys are first time visiting with us, thank you for being here. If you have not subscribed yet, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video, and hit the like button for me. And obviously, guys, drop some comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. And I do have the link in the description for the Discord. If you guys want to join, listen, it's open to everybody right now. Jump in, become part of this community. Had an awesome day today with you guys in the Discord. Just, communicating, getting to know each other. We got people from all over the place right now. We have one gentleman from Lima, Peru. We have a gentleman from Atlanta, one from North Carolina, one from Pennsylvania. So guys, guys and gals, welcome. Jump in. We want to see you in there. And we're doing just texting and communicating that way right now. I know everybody has responsibilities, jobs, and all that. So do I. So, we try to communicate as much as we can. We're going to set some days where we actually do some live trading together, just being on a live, hearing each other's voices, kind of getting to know each other a little bit, learning about each other, talking through some stocks and just, hey, what are you seeing right now? Okay, yeah, I'm seeing the same thing, or I don't see it that way. Here's what I see. And we're going to set some of that up. So excited about all that, excited to be part of all this. Guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. See you tomorrow. Get rich. Be careful. Don't use your money that you have to make your bills, make your car payment, your house payment, your rent payment, or the money you need to put the food on the table. Be careful. Know your risk tolerance. Learn your support and resistance levels. Learn those candlestick patterns. And guys, we can do this together. Josh out. Peace.